Hello and welcome to our video demo that accompanies the paper entitled Code2graph, Automatic Generation of Static Call Graphs for Python Source Code. As a tool prototype, the user need only to provide the path to the root directory of the project and its name, and then hit Run. We see here that we are printing some results on the screen for explanation purposes. A folder with the project name is generated, which includes all the results of the system, and we are going to explain them one by one. The first one here includes the structure information of all the functions that exists inside each module, all the classes inside each module, and of course we are talking about Python modules, which mean files, and also all the imports that the project does. We also show statistics about each one of the code entities, including the number of functions in each module, the number of unique imports that each module does, and the number of classes in each module, as we see here. We can also visualize the structure of the code, including the packages, the modules, the classes, and the functions, as we see in this example. In addition to that, the user can also view the structure of the code as a graph, as we see in this visualization here. And the results of the static analysis that we have just visualized are used to create a matrix of the caller and callee functions, the relationships between the functions or the caller functions and the callee functions, as we see in this matrix here. Once this matrix is generated, we use it to automatically generate a graph description file with the dot extension. This file can be used to construct the static call graph of the system, as we see here. So we have used the GraphViz, a web-based tool, to visualize the constructed call graph or the output call graph in the system that we have just analyzed. And the second part of the tool focuses on creating the similarity matrix, in which the first step is generate a matrix that represents all possible execution paths, in which the rows represents the path and the column represents the function. Numbers 0 and 1 are used to represent whether a function exists in a specific path or not. And this matrix is very important to generate the similarity matrix, which calculates the Jaccard index between each path and every other path of the system. Now let's show two use case scenarios in which the outputs of our tool Code2graph can be used. In the first scenario, we show how the different execution paths of the system can be clustered using different machine learning clustering algorithms into a workflow of the system. While these results or scenarios are not presented in the paper, we present them here to show the use cases of the similarity matrix and its potential in other further applications. What we see here is a visualization of the similarity matrix between all the paths, execution path in the system, using a heat map. The red dots represent the similar paths, while the blue areas or the blue dots represent different paths, distinct different paths. The x and y axes, they both represent the same vector of paths. We have clustered these execution paths, and we show the results here of the hierarchical single linkage clustering machine learning algorithm. We show 50 random paths, and we see how they are clustered into different regions that could represent different entities of the logical workflow of the system, which could be further abstracted into a higher level of visualization using topic modeling and natural language processing, which is out of the scope of this paper. However, we show the usability of clustering the execution paths into a different logical entities that can eventually construct the overall logical workflow of the system. We have compared different clustering algorithms as we show here, and we provide more information about the clustering, the execution paths, and their visualization on the tool's website, provided in the description box below. Another beneficial use case of our tool projects is measuring the similarity between two projects that in return is beneficial in many other projects such as similarity detection. And thank you for watching.